What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Signature Collection, the Joker from the Dark Knight series. Here we do have the Joker in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get him opened up, and we'll have a better look at the Joker. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have the Joker posed and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what Joker comes with. Joker does come with a sizable amount of accessories. He does come with two different firearms. He does come with a handgun with an extendable magazine, which looks really good. He also does come with a machine gun that we see him shooting at Batman with. He also does come with a couple of playing cards with a Joker tempo on the front, but no other details. And finally, we do get his little switchblade, which he carries around with him. Other accessories include a display stand that has the Joker's name on it, as well as 6 ports that you can put a peg in it. And it does come with a really nice backing with the picture of the Joker. And if you want to have him on a flight stand, you can. It's not the best, but that's what he comes with. Other than that, Joker doesn't really come with anything else. I would have liked to see an alternate head, maybe alternate hands, but unfortunately we don't get that with Joker. So what we're going to do now is actually move on to Joker's details. And so here we have a closer look at the Signature Collection Joker, and I don't know how I feel about the head sculpt on this figure. From certain angles it looks like Heath Ledger's Joker, especially when he's looking down like this. From a straight on shot it just doesn't look right, and then from side profiles it does look like Heath Ledger. I think one thing throwing me off is the way they did his face paint. They tried to do it to where it looked like the movie, where it was actually makeup that he applied, but on the figure it's not coming off as nice. You can see there's appears to be spots where the makeup isn't properly applied, which is a little bit unfortunate, but there's really nothing I can do about that, and it is going to vary from figure to figure. Another thing I do want to point out is that his hair is a completely wrong color. Joker's hair wasn't this deep shade of green that you see here. It was actually more of a, almost like a lime green, only because Heath Ledger had lighter hair, and with the green it just made it look lime green. It's not as bright as it is here. But like I said, from some angles it looks like Heath Ledger, especially when you have him looking down like that. From the side profiles it looks like Heath Ledger, but there's just things about it that don't look like Heath Ledger. But the mouth and the scars are done really well. The scars are actually sculpted on, so that looks really good. Moving on to his costume, we can see he is wearing the traditional purple suit that the Joker is known for. We'll have a look at his trench coat first, and you can see it does have the buttons painted right here. Even though he is wearing purple, the buttons are an even darker shade of purple, which I really do like that little tidbit. Going on to his sleeves, you can see he has the buttons on the sleeves as well. Not sure we can see them, but they are painted really well. Something to point out is that he has buttons on both sides. Now in the movie, I believe one side of his sleeves was actually missing buttons, but I might be wrong. I'll have to go back and look at the movie to see how that was. He does have pockets right here on the side, although I think the pockets should be further up. I think they should be more in the front. You can see he actually does have a second jacket underneath his purple jacket, which is pretty accurate to the movie. He is, of course, wearing those really dark purple gloves that he is known for in the movie, so I am glad that they're a different shade than the purple that we see on him. Moving on to his vest, you can see they did a pretty decent job at molding it in the green plastic. Yes, it is molded, it's not painted, which I'll talk a little more about the vest in a little bit, but the tie is done really well, and I love the shirt. Even though the shirt isn't 100% accurate, it looks enough like the shirt to say, yeah, that's what the Joker was wearing. Now, onto the vest, and this is where I have a problem. He has 4 buttons. The Joker only had 3 buttons in the movie. He was actually missing this top button right here. I don't know why they sculpted that button on. Every other figure that the Joker has ever had has been missing that button, so seeing it here, it's just a little odd to me. Another thing missing is, of course, his chain that he wore. I would have liked to see them actually try to put the chain on, because as it stands, it looks a little plain with it, just his leg here. But I do like the fact that the inside of his jacket is painted red. I think it should be orange, but that's just the way I'm remembering it. I'm pretty sure it's orange, not red. You can see they did sculpt the pinstripes in his legs, so that looks really good. The line work on his pants is actually caught with the lighting, so that's a really nice way to go about it. He does have some really dirty boots right here, well, shoes. And then you can see that the plastic that they used for his hinge is blue. I don't know why they went with blue. They could have done yellow and got the same result, but you can chalk it up that it's socks, that the blue that you see are his socks, so that's what I'm going to chalk it up to, and that's how I'm going to leave it. So overall, I think Mattel actually did a really good job with some of the detailing on him, even though it's not 100% accurate. So what we're going to do now is actually compare him to a few other figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have the Joker posed next to the Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have the Joker posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. And finally, here we have the Signature Collection Joker posed next to a Mattel Movie Master Joker and the SH Figuarts version of Joker. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Joker's articulation. Now, I haven't been able to get his head off, but it feels like his head is on a ball joint, even though we don't get some slight tilt. I'm pretty sure the joint goes really deep into the head. But he does appear to have a hinge. It might just be a swiveling ball joint, but it might be a hinge. I don't know. I'll have to take his head off just to see how that works. But we do get rotation. Oh, it is a hinge. Turning his head, I can actually see the way it works. He has a hinge in the neck, so that provides the up and down movement. Really good choice on Mattel for choosing a hinge right there. Arms do go out to about that far. They do a full 360. A little bit hindered by the jacket. They do kind of go off at an angle, but it's not a severe angle, so that's pretty good. He has a bicep swivel, which looks ugly, to be honest. Double bend in the elbow works pretty good. It's better than 90, but he's not touching his shoulder, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Swivel and hinge in the wrist, which works no problem. We do have an ab crunch, which goes forward. Only that much. Doesn't give us much forward movement and very little backwards movement. We do have a swivel in the waist. Legs do kick forward about that far, kick back about that far, go out all the way. Mattel can get their figures to do splits perfectly. How about that? We have a swivel in the thigh, double bend in the knee. Works no problems there. We do have a hinge in the ankle, which goes forward and back, really hindered by the boot cuff, or the cuff of his pants. We do have forward-facing pin for rocker ankle, and no swivel at that joint, unfortunately. But overall, pretty good articulation here on the Joker. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the DC Multiverse Signature Collection Joker posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I think Mattel did a really good job with this figure. Now, he's not 100% accurate to the movie, which I'm going to say that is a bad thing. A couple of buttons shouldn't be there, and I think the head sculpt could have been a little bit better. But overall, for what it is, Mattel actually did a much better job than the Movie Master figures that we've gotten in the past. But that was about 10 years ago, so it's really good to see that Mattel has stepped up their game from those previous Movie Master figures. Now, if you are looking for the Joker, he is starting to hit specialty stores at the time I'm making this video. And when I say specialty stores, I'm talking ThinkGeek, GameStop, and other online retails. I actually picked up my Joker from Amazon, which he was running about $25, which is pretty fair seeing as how GameStop and ThinkGeek are charging $30 for these figures. I think $25 is more than reasonable, seeing as how he comes with a pretty decent batch of accessories. Alternate hands and alternate head would have made him a much better figure, in my opinion, but for what he is, I still think he's a must-have for any Batman fan or Joker fan. You're going to want to have this guy in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other DC Multiverse videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.